And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live from NGC Studios here in South Florida. And I just realized that you guys probably heard the VC conversation Apex and I had in the background. So anyway... that is not going to be in the recorded version. So the podcast audience missed that.
Quick, Andy, clip it.
But I might save that as like a blooper reel though.
Bro, I'm down with that. Do your intros. All right, you guys can hear the behind the scenes Whitfield report.
Yeah, but anyway, folks, I don't even know why I do the intro anymore. It's for new people, but anyway, folks, you can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at SamW_NDC, hashtag Whitfield Report, on Gab and Parler at Sam Whitfield, thesamwhitfield.com, facebook.com/Whitfield Report, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And I feel like I'm missing one more platform, but I don't know. And also streamlabs.com/the Whitfield Report. So if you'd like to donate. Anyway, so Gamma, how are you doing tonight?
Should I lie or should I just go with the No, I'm good, man. I'm just kidding. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here as usual. I look forward to my Saturday nights talking shit on the internet with my good friend Sam. And it was a somber week. For the first time in a long time, was not even forced, but like found myself really reflecting on this September 11th, 2001, which of course is the point of the show, or at least the title of the show.
Yeah.
And even before you made it the highlight of this week's show, I've been thinking, like, of course I thought about it throughout the years through various lenses. How did it happen? Why did it happen? Who did it? What really happened? Et cetera, et cetera. Anybody close to our ages can at least empathize with that. But just thinking about like where I was and like what I went through emotionally at the time and what I witnessed happen thereafter and what I remember specifically about it. And it's one of the most vivid memories that I have, oddly enough. And I didn't really realize that until recently.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a good 11 years younger than you, but even so, I think even those of us who were younger kids back then, I think that was like the first event in my lifetime where I realized that, oh shit, violent stuff happens in the world, and violence actually does exist. It's it's not just something that happens on Saturday morning cartoons or whatever.
Yeah, and that's fun. That's amazing that you say that, man, because I have been arguing with we'll say my wife. She's been my wife for the last seven years, about her two daughters who I have raised since they were very little, but they're not my children. They're not my blood children. I've just raised them like they were.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, she had the say so. So when it came to discipline, something where we could not agree is spanking. because I grew up getting spankings, and now I don't
So
think
so did I.
kids should be beat. Kids should not be beat for every single offense, but they need to be warned, and they need to be warned again, and they need to be physically um, disciplined, because guess what happens in the real world? Violence. When you fuck up enough, you're gonna get hurt. Someone is going to hurt you. So spanking is the most it's the most like ethical, I mean, it's just the most logical way for a parent that cares about their kids to teach them, don't do that, because people will hurt you. You know what I mean? Violence exists in the world, and you learned it through 9/11. I learned it through spanking, but probably around similar ages. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I
that's a
learned.
real thing.
I learned through, I learned not to mess up, and to behave through spanking as well, and like I was never like an ill-mannered kid, or anything like that, but the few times I did mess up, I was disciplined, and the message was clear. If you mess up, if you're an asshole, there will be consequences to your actions. And
Exactly. I mean, exactly.
with this whole trophy generation now, which unfortunately I'm kind of ashamedly a part of that larger generation. I think now with all of these, trophy kids running around shooting their mouth off on, Twitter and whatnot, it's, and in real life with the whole, Antifa and Occupy movement, it's really become apparent that, that the whole, trophy reward system, participation trophy, didn't really do
Yeah. Okay.
shit. So
Yeah. Okay. You kept saying the trophy. Okay. I was going to say the participation trophy generation.
Sorry, I should have
No, you're good. I knew that's what you meant, but
yeah,
you didn't actually clarify, so I was just wanted to specify.
yeah,
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that all participation trophies are inherently bad. There are some cases and some situations I could see for, very, I mean, I don't know. I could think of like, well, maybe not. Maybe those can't be justified. Maybe I'm just my own experience, but you know, uh, little bitty. Sorry, I got a kitten doing gymnastics in front of me because I'm talking, and for some reason, when I speak with my voice to someone other than them, that's when they want my attention. Hey, wait, what are you doing, bro? Anyway, um, like when I was in school, and like, I mean, even when I was in elementary school, and you did, you were in art class and you had art, what'd you call them? Like whatever. Like everyone would draw a picture and then they would post them in the library and they would get graded or judged by either the students or the faculty or both, or parents or something. And there was always a blue ribbon. Somebody always got first place. Someone always got second place. Someone always got third place. But almost everybody that I can recall, and maybe not everybody, so maybe it doesn't, what I'm saying means nothing, but I remember at least one year that I didn't get first, second, or third place, that I entered, that I got an honorary something or other. Like, well, you didn't do good enough, but you did almost good enough, so here, kind of thing.
yeah,
But I also had friends that didn't get anything, so
yeah,
my experience is limited in this. I guess I'm just talking from 30 years ago, or well, not quite 25 years ago or so. But yeah, the point is, I agree with you. Participation trophies are bullshit, and it has made an entire generation and perhaps a half, if not two, soft as fuck, man.
yeah. And what's so kind of tying it back to 9/11, what's really what's really kind of startling to me is the fact that like today's 18-year-olds weren't even, you know, they weren't even born yet when 9/11 happened. So other than reading about it in history books, they have they literally have no context for what happened.
Yeah. Or seeing the videos, or yeah, you're absolutely right. It's no different than um, as someone mentioned. Uh, I think it was Gabe mentioned in Discord. It's just like the previous generation in the JFK assassination. They're like, you have no idea. Like the videos, the things you read don't even, or Pearl Harbor for that matter, or
Right.
World War II. What I mean? Any of the shit that we read about, it's like we're this is our generation's thing, I guess. Like, well, one of them. Fuck, for God's sake. Since I've been born, we've been through three major economic recessions and several wars and gender identity politics and the rise of communism
Yeah.
disguised as Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry. Anyway, 9/11. Let's stay to the point. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. And by the way, chat, I don't know what the hell the Nightbot thing is. It's something that Discord uh it's something that like Discord install on my channel to help promote stuff, but I'm gonna turn it off after the show. I don't know why it's muting people. That's not me that's doing that. So but yeah. Um yeah, oddly enough it thinks that thumbs up is spam. But anyway, uh aside from all of that, so I guess where were you on 9/11, Mr. Gamma?
Well, let's see. So, I mean, it started like any other day, like it did for anybody else. I was in eighth grade. Um, and by the time I realized what was going on, I don't remember what period it was, but it was eighth grade science, and the teacher's name was Dan. We all called him Mr. Dan. He was probably several people's favorite teacher. Really cool dude, always jovial, making jokes and poking fun at the students, and probably poking fun in ways sometimes that he, especially now, would get made, would get fucking fired and probably crucified and burnt at the stake for.
Oh
But he
yeah.
was a like I he, at least in this school, this middle school, stuck out only second to my art teacher. But anyway, when I got to, I think it was third period actually, so it was 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. But it was right after the first tower fell, and I remember class started, and we were all sitting in there doing what fucking eighth graders do, just laughing and throwing fucking pencils at each other and shit, and flirting with girls and whatever else.
Ah,
And the door opens.
the good old days.
Yeah, and in walks Mr. Dan, and of course, the door opens. We all got quiet, so because he was cool, but he's still a teacher. You don't know what the fuck's going on. He rolls in a fucking TV, and I remember my first instinct was, "Fuck yes, dude, we're watching a movie." You know,
Oh shit.
yeah, and he rolls the TV in front, and he's like, I can't remember like verbatim as well as I remember it, but it was, the gist of it was, uh, I'm glad you're all quiet because I need you to pay attention. Uh, uh, I, wa- I need you, all of your young minds, to understand the history that you're about to live through, that you're about to see. Um, Something like that. It was very, like, I remember it stood my fucking hair up, thinking, trying to piece it together in my head. But then he turned the TV on, and I'm pretty sure the first tower had fallen at that point. which is why it was so. He came in so somber, and he explained it all before he turned the TV on. And like before, this is the weird part, is before he actually came in the office, or came in the classroom with the TV. The speakers started popping off from the office. Such and such student come to the office. Such and such student come to the office. Like every 5 seconds, one after the other, people were getting called out of school. Their parents were there to pick them up. And by the time my third period science class was done, I was one of 2 students left of the, I think it was 22 or 25, somewhere in the, low 20s. Because everybody, so it went from, for me, again, a normal day at school, just fucking around and doing what kids do and not taking anything very seriously, to, and even honestly, I didn't even take it seriously when the TV turned on. Like I was still trying to make jokes, and I thought it was funny. And even after I left school, like it was only when I saw, and I still, the one of the most vivid parts. One of my friends that lived basically next door to the school, a family friend, walked straight to his house afterwards, and there was like fucking, there was probably 1/20th of the students left in the school that were supposed to be there, because all their parents picked them up, and my parents were one of the few that didn't, because reasons. But went to his house, and we turned on the news, and that's when I started seeing the videos of people jumping out of the
Oh
windows.
yeah. Oh shit.
And again, at 8th grade, I don't remember how old, 12 years old or 13, whatever, somewhere around that area, 14. Yeah, no, I would have been, 11, 12, exactly. That was the first moment of like, oh, okay. And then the other tower went down, and I was too young, way too young, to have any idea about any sort of conspiracy. But I vividly remember my parents and all of their peers being a South Texan, where old W was from, where his base was, very, very upset about things like the Patriot Act, which I didn't understand. But you know what? I do remember the surgence of patriotism that came shortly thereafter too. That's another pretty vivid memory. Every fucking where. But it also, in retrospect, makes me think that it was, it just plays more into the conspiracies that I have floating around in mine, and many other people's heads that, traverse the internet. But the point, though, is I was in the short of it is I was in middle school, and like many other kids, it changed. Well, like everybody else in the country, I would argue the world, changed my life in ways that I am still kind of reconciling at this point.
Yeah, same here. So, for me, I was in second grade at the time, I think, so I would have been about like 7 or 8 years old at the time. And I remember that earlier that summer, I had been begging my parents to take me to New York City, because I was really into comic books at the time, and particularly Marvel comics, and all of the Marvel superheroes lived in New York City. So, in my 7-year-old mind, I wanted to go see, Manhattan, because that's where, like, Spider-Man lived, or something like that, right? So,
Right.
we booked the flight for like October, because that was when my school's fall break was going to be. So over the course of like that fall, September, my mom had gotten like various books on like New York City from the library. And one of the books that she got was specifically like on the World Trade Center, and like what went on there, like what the purpose of the building was and all that stuff. And she read that to me on 9/10, so the night before. And
Whoa.
so yeah, so the the morning of 9/11, she wakes me up and she starts getting me ready for school. Now, as a general rule, my mother never had the TV on, in the morning. No morning news, none of that stuff, because she felt it was just a distraction. One of her friends from New York. This is another interesting thing. Is my mom actually grew up in Connecticut and used to go into New York City all the time. I'll talk about that in a sec. But one of her friends from New York called and told her, "You have to turn the TV on." And at first I could hear her being like, "No, I'm not going to turn," and someone told her to just do it. And so she grabs me, goes into the living room, turns on the TV, and they were playing footage of the first tower coming down, and I believe at that point they had live footage, and the plane impacted the second tower, and for some reason what I remember was just the fireball of the plane impacting the second tower, just in like a big, mass fireball. And it looks like, in my mind, it looked like a movie or something. I was really confused as to what was going on. And then, it got really dark because people started jumping out of the towers. And at that point, my mom covered my eyes and was just like screaming, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And my dad was in the room too at that point. But it got freaky because the other thing too was, I remember I went to school that day, and they even like explained to us what had happened. And then I guess halfway through the day, they sent us all home from our school because there was a rumor. I guess there had been intelligence that there might have been a terrorist attack, that was going to occur in Colorado because of NORAD, the missile defense system. So they sent us all home, like statewide, if I remember correctly, and it was just a bizarre time. And then later on, as I got older, and the Patriot Acts got passed, and then the Iraq War happened. That was the other thing, was when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, whenever we actually went into Iraq, we were all told that we were going into Iraq because of 9/11. That was kind of, what we were all told, what we were all led to believe.
Yep.
And, now that's not, it's looking like that was not the case. But it's just bizarre, man. But, like you, I do remember kind of the surge of patriotism, so the other funny thing is we actually did get to go to New York City after all. We were one of the first flights that were allowed, back onto Manhattan, back into Manhattan. And so one of my earliest memories was, New York City, and you could smell burning steel all over the city. The city just smelled burnt. Like,
oh no shit.
Yeah,
how early after did you go?
It was like late October, so it was like just over a month. They were just starting to open stuff up, I think, from what I remember. So we actually took a...
Well, yeah. There was like molten fucking steel in the base of that thing for how long?
Oh, it was like, you know, it was for a while. But the one thing that I remember like pretty clearly was like when we went there, everyone was like really nice and like really polite, which weirded my mom out because she had grown up in like Connecticut during the 1970s and like early 80s. So when she used to go into the city with my aunt, it was a, you know, you watch any movie of New York from like the 70s or the 80s, it's a very sketchy place, you know, not somewhere where like two, you know, young single women should necessarily be going alone, but they did, you know, so it went from being like a sketchy place, and then when Giuliani, you know, became mayor, it got cleaned up a bit, and then, you know, 9/11 happened and everything changed. But you know, so that was weird for her that like New Yorkers were actually nice. And then like I think the second or third time she took me, I was like in middle school then, and by that time like New York had kind of reverted back to normal-ish, I guess. So meaning that like people were cursing at each other in elevators and stuff like that. But anyway,
Yeah,
um
right.
so but yeah,
That's
it's
wild, man. Very different remembrance of the day. But ultimately the same goal or same end place, obviously, for all of us. No matter what we experienced that day, where we all ended up is the same, which is why it's interesting to talk about.
yeah, it's it's really it's crazy, like I said, to think it was 19 years ago as well, because it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes it feels like it was more recent, sometimes it feels like it was longer. I don't know, it's weird how time works like that. So
I would co-sign that 100%, actually, because things that happened, like, yeah, I mean, it happens all the time for me, depending on what it is, you know, like, it's weird. It does feel like both a long time ago and just yesterday, you know? Like I was mentioning earlier, the vividness of my memory of it is more vivid in some ways than things that happened a couple of weeks ago. Obviously less significant, but the significance of it is what makes it stand out. So, you know what I mean? It's a weird, like, it's a weird thing, man.
yeah. Oh, and I guess according to Johnny, we have two cops in LA that got shot in the head by. It's looking like. It's looking like. Let me read the chat here. Um, yeah, it's looking like it was Antifa or something. So, oh good God, so fucking assholes. But
Wait, where was this?
I I guess in LA or something. Hang on, Johnny sent a tweet, so let me see what this is. Let's see. Breaking. Two LASD Transit Security Bureau deputies have been shot at in the Compton PAX station. I'm told by LASD that both were shot in the head by a male who got off the bus, then fled. Both hospitalized. Update. LASD sources tell me that both deputies were in their vehicle when they were both shot in the head, and that this was a straight ambush. LASD working on suspect info. Man, that is crazy.
Dude, that is fucked up, man. You know what I said? Well, it's been said that that's not. There's more of this going to happen, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the future with this sort of shit happening, dude.
Oh yeah, and it's funny. People are like, well, you live in Florida where where I mean people carry down there and it's safe, right? And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. The lunatics are popping up everywhere. So jeez.
Oh man. Is Versa streaming tonight?
Versa starts streaming at 11:30.
Oh shit. Okay.
Or I don't know. They might start streaming earlier. But so
I understand. I might need to take a little break. But I intended to be back. I just didn't want to leave you solo. If there was, you know what I mean? Because
oh no, you can.
I got some.
You can dip out. So.
No, man, not gonna do that.
You need to go buy more weed or something. So.
Well, no, I've done that on air multiple times, man. There's some things that can't be done on air. If you catch my drift.
I certainly do. So.
I'm still here though. I'm here. We're good.
So one other thing I wanted to discuss is the cancel Netflix hashtag that's been trending this week. Because I guess we've talked about the Cuties movie in air quotes before, but I haven't actually seen it on Netflix yet. Of course, I haven't really gone to look for it, but
no, nor have I. But thanks to my Twitter feed, Beige Frequency, who I think has done a great job of several documentaries that he's done, apparently watched it, and he's said earlier that it wasn't as bad as he was expecting it to be, but it's definitely still not good. But it's it doesn't, not to take away from what people are upset about, because they have a right to be, and they should be, but they should have been upset long before this. But if this is what it takes, that's fine. Let's protect the goddamn kids, man.
Yeah, I see. I've been talking to people. I know, and I can't say too much because of confidentiality, but I actually know people who work for Netflix and or who have worked for Netflix in the past, and I guess some people have already left over this, and some people want to leave, but they can't because of job security and whatnot. So, which I can't blame them. And the other thing is, I guess from what I was reading today, Congress actually wants to investigate the production company, although I'm not sure that they can, since this was done in France. So, but then again, the French have always been kind of sketchy when it comes to this type of stuff. So,
yeah, it may have been made in France, but that doesn't mean we can't investigate it. You know what I mean? The Chinese Communist Party's fucking doing all the things they're doing, but we're still investigating.
Oh yeah. So it's just it's a little, and I'm not criticizing, but it is a little strange to me that this hashtag is trending now, because I mean, this has been out there for a while now. So, so let's see. Did someone send me
So,
something?
Sammy, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave the call, but I am gonna mute for about I don't know, about 10 or 15 minutes, but I will be back. Maybe less, maybe more. Probably not more.
Okay.
But I will be right back. I do have something important to do. I'll be back. So do you think?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the whole Netflix cuties thing is weird. So I don't have a subscription myself. I leech off of someone else's subscription. I'll admit that, but you know, like I said, more people will be canceling their Netflix account. I have a feeling about that. So let's see. I'm trying to find more stuff on this shooting that's been going on on the last shooting that is that just happened in California. Let me see if I can pull anything up. So he's oh yeah, Apex is pooping. Well, well, I have a suspicion I know what Apex is up to Nero. He 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 told me he had his lady friend over, so I don't know. Take that what you will. And also, I might as well read the chat. So oh, Fat Heck Boy did mention that yesterday was also the anniversary of the Benghazi attack. So yeah, press F in the chat for Ambassador Stevens, Glenn, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods. Yeah, that is certainly F in the chat. So, but yeah. And let me go over and see who is watching. Yeah, Apex is feeding the toilet. Well, I mean, it shouldn't take him. It shouldn't take him, you know, 15 minutes to do that, but who knows? Let's see. Um. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Glenn. I'm searching articles and reading the chat at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about Benghazi before, and I mean, I'm sorry, but Benghazi, as I said years ago when it happened, uh, Benghazi should have been the case for not only the unelection of Barack Obama, but Benghazi should have been the impeachment. Should have been the case for impeachment of Barack Obama, in my opinion. So, yeah. Yeah, 13 hours 13 Hours is a great movie. It's been a while since I've seen that. Heck boy. But yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I mean, so if we want to talk Benghazi real quick, it is kind of interesting that, you know what, we might as well dive into Benghazi since we're already on the topic. That's actually kind of where I made my bones because the week that I interviewed Ben Shapiro on my podcast a long time ago, he had like done a big show on Benghazi on what and you know what an absolute clusterfuck is, and you know Ben likes to say that his predictions for the election were are mostly right, but in that case he and I both wrongly assumed that that would be Obama's unelection, so to speak. So yeah, we knew. So we were wrong about that. And let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mean Benghazi should have gotten Obama impeached, and how it didn't, I have no idea how. But I am glad that 13 Hours came out because, as Fat Cake Boy points out, that movie destroyed Hillary Clinton's chances at the presidency in 2016. I mean, that and the fact that, she's just a generally unlikable, C word. And, with the whole server bleach, which, I mean, obviously, I think it's pretty apparent to everyone now that she did bleach her email, her private server, and that all those emails were related to Benghazi. And I'm not one to push conspiracy theories out there too much, but I'm not saying that Benghazi was an inside job, but perhaps maybe there were people who knew about Benghazi beforehand and didn't act on it until that seems to be kind of the case. So let's see. Fat Cake Boy, thanks for the lemons, bud. I appreciate that. Just got a notification. So let's see here, folks. What is going on with what's going on with this LA thing? I'm still looking that up right now. Let's see. Let's see what this pops up. Yeah. Google is not giving me anything useful as per usual. So. But yeah. This show is brought to you by Smooth Dead Air, folks. The smoothest dead air on the internet. So, but yeah, let's see. Let's see here. Oh yeah, people. Oh, I thought for a second there I thought Nero was actually making that comment for real, but yeah, I see what he was doing. So no, Johnny, I didn't see Shapiro's review of Cuties yet. So but yeah. So the LA shooting, I saw that one tweet that Johnny was talking about, but I'm not seeing anything else about it. When the sad but funny thing is when I Google LA shooting, I well, you know what? I might as well show you. You know, I might as well. We'll show you my search results page, because when it comes to LA shooting, there's no. Sadly, there's there's no lack of there's no lack of content there for the search results. So let's see here. Hang on, folks. I'm setting up a new source for Streamlabs here. Okay, this ought to be good. Alright, let me shrink this. Let me move this a bit. Yeah, you guys are seeing behind the scenes work here, so. But yeah, so when I Google LA shooting here, folks, I see stuff that was, anywhere from like 12 hours ago to just over a month ago. It's it's endless. So, but of course it is a metropolitan city as well, so I'm not that surprised. But anyway, just thought that would be kind of interesting to show as well. But let's see. Yeah, searches LA shooting to build. Yeah, that's about the half of it. So Let's see. You should check Twitter. It happened less than an hour ago. Yeah, let me see here. So, what the hell? Twitter is such a garbage. They have something about like a female high school football player trending on me right now. That's lovely. Also, what is this? Oh, of course, it's more anti-Trump propaganda. Oh, Trump doesn't care. Oh, so I guess General Mattis has flipped on Trump here, and he's now like he's now become, or I guess gone full deep state. Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us. Mattis writes, oh my god. Yeah. This is, well, I might as well show you here. This is the type of stuff that's popping up on my Twitter timeline right now, folks. If there were a contest, yeah, so of course the Twitter algorithm is of course the algorithm is pushing anti-Trump propaganda, and let's see. Oh, so I guess they're basically blaming coronavirus on Trump, so yeah, and of course this of course he's responding to Charlie Kirk because he's easy to go and whatnot, so I see that now. So also, how does Charlie Kirk still follow me? I thought he would have unfollowed me by now, but I guess Charlie still likes this show somewhat, so let's see. Malgorithm. So yeah, Trump's divisive and Bielman and Antifa are inclusive. Yeah, well, if they, if you follow Twitter logic, that's the way things go, Annabelle. So what can you say? So at this point, I'm wondering if Apex Gamma actually fell into the toilet, or what happened. But yeah, we could do a whole segment on that, because I know that on my Discord it still says that he's here, but maybe he fell in to the toilet, like Mirai says. So or maybe he's been eaten by Garage Kitty, as Annel says. So how do Twitter employees not get curb stomped all the time? Easy. They never leave the building. Storm wrenches. That's how they never get punished. It's just a stronghold. I will say this for Twitter and Google: they sure as hell do have nice areas where you can, like, their offices are nice. You get like buffets, and like they have really nice caterers and cafes, so they never have to leave the building if they don't want to. They basically can live and work there. So that's why they never have to face the real world. Turns out Gamma was near I at the time. Well, wait, Wrenches might be actually on something, because we've never heard Nirai and Apex in the same VC before, have we? So wait, who wait, Johnny writes, Michael ran home, died eating a gummy worm, FYI. Who, first off, I have no idea who that is, but second of all, are we sure it's a gummy worm or a poisoned, or did he eat like a poisoned pack of gummies? Maybe he's the one who received the poison gummies that were meant for who, but let's see. I used to buy oh, the Patriot Prayer guy. Yeah, he should have eaten a bag of gummy dicks. So but yeah, folks, so this is what the millennial generation thinks of 9/11. They're blaming on Trump, just like they do with everything else. One thing I do want to see, though, does anyone know in chat if there were actually any like memorial, if there were like any commemoration ceremonies yesterday for 9/11? Because I sure as heck don't remember seeing anything. So let me let me actually Google that real quick. Well, that would be interesting to find out. All right. And that's what I thought. Oh, so I guess there was. I guess there was something that happened. Oh, I hate going. I hate going to CNN, but looks like we're going to for this. Okay. The 19th anniversary of the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001 was marked intimately on Friday as America again copes with enormous loss. So they are trying. It does seem like they're trying to spin this to tie it into COVID, right? Because now everything has to tie in with COVID, right? Even 9/11. From New York City to Washington D.C. to Pennsylvania. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Unlike previous years, when the site of the attacks filled with people and the victims' names were read by family members from a stage, the pre-recorded names are played over speakers to avoid close contact. Former Vice President Joe. Okay, so Biden and Pence, I guess, met up at New York, and they exchanged elbow bumps. Is that what we're doing now? I mean, I get that people are supposedly worried about COVID, but I mean, one handshake is not gonna kill you guys. Well, it might kill Biden, but who knows? Okay, yeah, this is all just weird to see everyone wearing masks during this whole thing. I'll tell you, folks. Is it just me, or is the mask stuff? Is it getting creepy to you guys too? Because it's starting to become a bit excessive in my mind. Just a bit. So. Let's see. Yeah, Johnny brings up a good point. Mass mandate is made to make Antifa look normal. So, well, I mean, let's see. All students have been globalized now. Yeah, that is true. But even so, it's still weird as hell to see people wearing masks all the time. So okay, so who popped in the?
Hi, it's me, Sammy. Sorry.
Oh, Gamma, you're back now. Deary thought that maybe you fell into the toilet or something like that. So.
No, I fell into the vagina, but I found the light and I got my way back up.
Oh, nice.
I got punched in the arm for saying that too, so you're welcome, chat.
Well.
Anyway, what are we talking about? What's going on?
Well, we're talking out that we talked about a couple of things. We were we were taking bets at where you at. So.
Well, who won?
I mean, no one. So.
Oh well, I never left. I didn't actually go anywhere. I just.
So did you hear? Did you hear us? Smack talking you?
No. But I'm glad you said that, so now I can go back and listen to it, you shit talkers. No.
No, we were.
No, admittedly, I stayed in the call, just muted, but it was really weird listening to you talk while I was doing the things I was doing. It lasted for about 10 seconds. I'm like, I'm sorry, Sammy. I gotta mute you.
Well, I could have had so much fun if you had kept the unmuted. So.
Well, you would have had fun, but mine would have been muted, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, yeah.
what was the shit talk? What was the speculation? Where was I at? What was I doing? Johnny's in the chat. Some kind of gay grinder meetup or some shit, probably. What else we got?
I guessed at one point that you were face deep in titties or something like that. So.
Well, then you did win. See, I asked who won, and you won.
Oh.
I mean, that was at least part of the time I was gone. I mean, titties tend to be attached to vaginas, which I got lost in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Good God. Good God. You and I are both horrible. So.
I know, man. I shouldn't be allowed on the internet. I've said this before, but you keep inviting me on, so I would keep spreading my degeneracy through the Whitfield report.
I should just. Someone who listens to the podcast the other day said I just need to find like an island of women and just jettison myself there. And
well, Sam, that's the ideas of the Muslims, bro. 72 virgins and all that. It's fleeting. It
I mean,
just find yourself one.
I mean, I like. Yeah, I mean, I like that whole idea, minus the whole fucking. I'll probably get banned off YouTube for saying this, but I like the idea of that, minus the whole headscarf and beating
Jihad?
and and beating your wives and doing procedures to their privates and whatnot. But yeah. And then right before you came on, I was reading an article from CNN on the I guess the 9/11 memorial ceremony, and I am increasingly weirded out by the fact that that people are just wearing masks fucking everywhere. It's
yeah, dude.
it's creepy. It's like the zombie apocalypse or something like that. So
Well, that's a fair. I mean, it's not it's not that indifferent because it's you can't understand it. They look like humans, but clearly they're not, and all of their motives are counter to yours. It's basically like if you're sitting in your car driving down the street by yourself, and you feel the need to drive 30 miles or even 5 miles with a mask on your face. From the time you before you exit your door to the world, you've got a mask on, and you feel it prescient to wear that thing the entire time that you're driving in your car or out in the world. Period. Um,
I actually
that you may as well they may as well be. I mean, I hate to paint with too broad of a brush here, but they're probably retarded. But I am too, just differently. I'm differently retarded, like differently abled, but just more retarded.
I like that differently retarded. Yeah, one of my IRL friends had a great thing that he said to me. He said wearing masks in your car when you're all alone is like wearing a condom when you're when you're just spanking your
when
mom.
You're jerking off.
Yeah. It doesn't.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good analogy. You want to say hi to chat?
It doesn't.
Hi, chat.
It doesn't do.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't do anything. So, also, Johnny says, "Fuck you." There's nothing gay about Grindr, you faggot. So. All right, Owen. I mean Johnny. So.
Oh, an arcade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mute for I'm not leaving for real. I just gotta say bye to my beautiful friend here. Say goodnight, chat. Say goodnight.
Good night.
And I'll be right back.
She's pretty. At least pretty sound. At least she sounds pretty. So.
She's fucking gorgeous, man. I don't deserve it, but I don't deserve anything other than a lightning bolt, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Well, I don't deserve. Yeah, I don't deserve any of the women in my life either. But I'm blessed.
No, that's not true, Sam. We deserve them, and then more, and then some. We certainly deserve the ones we have, and all the things we have.
So
I'm speaking. I'm maybe projecting a little here, but I don't think I deserve anything.
So, let's see. So wait. Oh. So this has sparked some questions from the from the chat. So wait, his wife left?
No, I don't. I don't live with my wife anymore. That was my my lady friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're divorced now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's where all this late turmoil in my life has come from. When I sound like such a miserable piece of shit lately, which I mean, arguably I always did, but shit happens, bro.
No.
I mean, listen, if you saw the woman that just left, you wouldn't be apologizing. I promise. Well, maybe you would. But, I don't know. Everyone's got their own standards.
If you saw some of the women that I've been with as well, you'd be like, Sam, you idiot! Why didn't you stick around with them or something? So.
Well, if you saw, okay, let me put it to you this way: if you saw what I spent the last far better half of a decade with, you'd be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Just on the surface, anyway. I mean, she's not like she's not like an episode of fucking one of those freak show TV shows, but she short, heavy, more going on inside than outside, and I'm the idiot that thought that was more important. The inside's more important. That's a lie.
Johnny wants you to spill the beans, so he's
what beans?
Yeah, I don't know. So he doesn't have kids this week. I'm
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, well, so we know for sure that Apex is currently doing better in the dating scene than I am right now. So,
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know that could be argued, Sam. Again, everyone has their own standards, because with beauty comes lack of other things. I'm not going to speak specifically about the young lady that was just here, but she's young. I'm old. I mean, she's drinking age. She's over drinking age. But let me get that out of the way. Not going Ethan Ralph here, but she's young and inexperienced. She's Hispanic, and she's got Hispanic Catholic parents, and she's the middle child, and oldest sister got in a bunch of trouble. So she before I ever met her, she's never experienced like the world at large.
Is she from Florida by chance? Are you stealing my neighbors?
No, listen, bro. She's a Texan. She's from Texas, just a decade removed. She's from Texas too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, she it's hard to describe, but she's very open and honest, but she just doesn't even understand like what that means. She's so inexperienced in the world. It's very honestly, there's moments where I feel like I'm teaching a child like how to act in the world, which is weird. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's weird. But she's got enough of a head on her shoulders that she pushes back against my retardation, my autism. Like, wait a minute, motherfucker, I'm not that stupid. Like, oh yeah, shit. Okay, my bad. You're right. That was a supreme oversimplification, but hopefully that made some kind of sense.
I have a lady friend from Texas myself, and
Sam, I told you 10 times now, I am not a lady. Just those guys called me that one time. You can't keep using that.
It's not you.
Oh shit! Okay, my bad. Disregard. Sorry.
It's not you, and unless you've been holding out on me. So.
Hey man, you've seen me do push-ups on stream. Unless I mean, my titties would be bouncing off the ground if I was hiding something.
They sure would be. So.
So we went from talking about 9/11 to talking about Apex getting laid. In between, what's next, man? What else we got? Can we go talk shit in Versa? Can we go? I kind of want to go talk shit in Versa.
Sure. I'm not even gonna end. Well, I mean, I guess I could maybe end the stream, but you know what? I'm not going to. We're just gonna jump the fuck in there and
I'm really curious to hear if our VC audio was playing at the beginning of this stream.
Wait, Nerai has questions. Hi, and wait, Nerai, you're a married man. Why would you be asking height and weight questions? So.
Oh, is he asking about my lady friend, or is he asking about me? Because that's weird. I mean, no, neither one of them are weird, but no, they are. They're both weird, but
Well, Near
I'd answer either.
Near's just a Near is just a goofball. So
Well, I'm 6'3", like 183.5 right now, skinny boy. She has the correct number of teeth. I'm not sure what that is. I don't have a like my dentist tool to count them out. And my tongue's just not that articulate. Uh, but she is, god damn it, she's like, I don't know, she's got to be 5'10", 5'11", and like 140-ish. Tall, skinny, but not like a bean pulse. She might be like 150. I don't know. I'm not sure. She's doesn't look like she's got an ounce of fat on her, but she's also fucking 22 years old. So, I mean, life has not kicked her in the love handles yet. I guess, not Gamma.
well,
Oh yeah, that was my ex near eye. She was like fucking, oh man, what, she's 5'6". I mean, at her best, she weighed about what I weigh now, about 180. But she averaged around 200.
and you said that your current lady friend is from Texas, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She has a small dick but a great personality. My ex, that's correct.
Wait, what?
The Storm of Wrenches says she has a small dick but a great personality.
Oh. Yeah, well. Apex, you are more than welcome to come down to Florida, my friend. We have some interesting chicks here. So.
Well, Johnny pointed out in the chat, he's like, "Oof, 22. She must be. I bet she's great to talk to." That's what I was saying earlier. Like, she's not stupid, but she's just in fucking experienced, and there's no way you can explain that to someone young. I've tried to do it with you. I've tried to do it with everybody younger than me, and it always comes off as an insult. And it always did to me too, to
Well,
people older than me. Like, oh, you just don't get it, man. There's some things you don't get until you're old. Like, oh, fuck you, man. I get it.
well,
No. You may get some things, but literally, time has a way of teaching you things differently for everyone.
But also, to be fair, Apex, you have to admit that as far as some things go, like culturally and also politically, I'm a little more astute than most people.
Well, no, there's no doubt about that, Sammy. I don't think I would clear out my Saturdays every week to have a conversation live on the internet with you. If that weren't the case, I can't even talk to this girl, barely a junior, in private while she's trying to get my dick out of my pants.
I had a moment the other day where I realized like how just, not that I'm old, but we were at the Kentucky Derby thing, and my neighbor's kid, who was about like 16 or 17, was there, and I overheard him talking like one of the current Sports Illustrated models or something like that, and I made a reference to Heidi Klum, and this kid goes, "Who?" And that broke my heart. So, and yeah, that is blasphemy for me. So,
blasphemer. Well, are we hopping into Versa? What's going on? I forgot about what happened.
Sure. We can just totally dunk. We can just totally dunk taken into Versa, and yeah. So I'll see you there in just one sec. Let's see here.
That's great. That is fantastic.
Hey,
Like, hey, Sam, how's it going?
good. My co-host should be joining me in just one minute. So what are you gonna?
Shit, we got a full house.
You were talking about midget porn.
Yeah,
He's not even
something like that.
joking.
Well, it turns out we were not. We actually were not that far off in our conversation. Just a moment ago.
We weren't. We
Jesus.
no, we weren't talking about cuties. Okay, we were talking about.
Oh,
actual
that's
mid-
something we can talk about.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. We'll kick that can down the road a little bit later. But yeah.
Not the only thing we're kicking down the road.
Yeah. No. I had this shirt when I was in school that had it said like you remember the 101 Dalmatians movie, right? Well, I got this shirt at the beach. It said 101 dogs doing it, and it had all Dalmatians, these puppy Dalmatians, in all kinds of weird sexual positions, and it's like all over the shirt. And he's like, and one of my teachers like, you need to take that T-shirt off. And me being the smart ass that I was like, yeah, I bet you want me to take off my shirt, man. And then like, and it was just like, at what point you got to know, like, okay, this is a fucking school. Okay, so there's going to be some sort of social interaction that's going to, like
awful.
I had something similar, except mine was one of those Drunks Against Mad Mothers shirt. By the way, hello everyone. Hello.
What's up?
Good evening.
And
But back in the 90s, there was 80s and 90s, there was Mad Mothers Against Drunk Drivers or whatever, and some of the edgier. I saw it the first time I ever saw it. James Hetfield was wearing it, but it was a Drunks Against Mad Mothers, DAM. It was like an inversion.
Yeah.
And I wore that to school, and like it was actually shortly after 9/11, probably ninth or 10th grade year, and it was the same kind of thing. I was stern-faced, told my teacher, like, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna take my shirt off of me?" And that was kind of like, that was the attitude that he was portraying. And by the time it was like, you can send me to the principal and I'll fucking go home, but you're literally telling me to take my shirt off in the school.
See what my school did, if you like, and it was pretty rare to find, but like if you wore like a really offensive shirt, you just had to wear it inside out. Like I think some people had like Joe Camel and shit on.
Knowing some of those pervert
that was
teachers
normal
that are
too,
there
right.
now, they probably would want you to take that shirt off now.
Well, see, Phil. Here's the thing, though. If it's a female teacher like we have here in Florida, if it's one of those hot like high school teachers here in Florida, you actually want to try and wear your most offensive t-shirt possible. So
fucking Florida.
No, it's one of those. No. See, in Florida it's different. Up here in PA, it's going to be one of those weird old dudes that's like cold shower in the fetal position, crying afterwards.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, dude,
get over here, Spring.
well, I mean,
that's the thing. I actually thought that I thought years ago that there was some kind of conspiracy to that, because I mean, even growing up in my tiny little neck of the woods, there were for sure creepy fucking dude teachers that were overly, touchy, and like just, it was obvious even as a preteen or teenager, like that dude's fucking weird, right? But all I ever saw growing up was hot teachers, female teachers, getting in trouble for banging dudes or sleeping with a dude. I mean, half a dozen I can remember through my early childhood years, but I never saw a national story, or very few, I should say, that made the kind of rounds that the female teachers made. You know what I mean? Like, that was so much of a bigger deal. And I remember thinking as a kid, like, oh, that would be awesome. Like, and just that little seed of like, I feel like I've had the point that's trying to make is I feel like that in and of itself was kind of on purpose, even as a little kid. Like, well, we'll report the massive amounts of disgusting old dudes doing terrible things to young boys and girls, but the handful of even remotely attractive females that sleep with a student for whatever reason or for whatever the circumstance, let's make that a national story, a fucking global story for that matter.
Well, it's more than just a handful. Like there was a lot of female teachers. Like there's more female teachers fucking like boys and stuff than their priests molesting boys. But the media doesn't want you to realize that.
Not in Oswego, New York. So
Sammy had to fucking drop it. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, we were talking about. So we were talking earlier. We were talking about the Isaiah Elliott story, the 12-year-old kid from Chicago that was doing an online art class, and he showed his toy gun, and I guess the school called the cops, and the cops went to the kid's house, and started threatening him with charges or whatever.
wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about? Jeez,
How do you spell his first name, by the way? I'm trying to pull this one up.
This
Isaiah, Isaiah.
Hey, did you post the link to the stream somewhere yet?
Yep, I already did that.
Yeah. So yeah, this was and it was obvious. Like it was obvious that this toy gun was a fucking toy. Like it had a green top and it had Zombie Hunter on the side of it. Like you just couldn't.
And it was in a virtual class. Like,
and
that's
it was
the thing that really gets me. It was a virtual fucking class. Like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
You can't even spread corona. Like, you could threaten to spray,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna cough on you.
See,
Like-
so what we at Versa Media did was we scrounged together a little something and sent him a couple of actual so a couple of replicas of actual guns, but like BB guns of like, we got him a Walther BB gun, and then we sent a Glock 19 BB gun. So like we're just and some BBs to
Dude,
go
they
with
suspended him.
Yeah, they suspended him. Yeah. But no, I mean now, because I was talking with the mom. She they were traumatized. That kid was traumatized, so they moved him. He's out. He's no longer a part of that school, and I think they're probably going to sue the school district. Which, yeah, good for them. I hope they sue the pants off that fucking school. But yeah. So yeah, we decided we were gonna and look, like you just had the Nerf. You just had the picture of his little Nerf wall, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, we decided, hey, we'll set up some cool stuff along the way.
So,
and, what's up?
So for those people who are in the Whitfield report chat, we just kind of jumped into Versa Media's stream randomly, and these are my buds from Philadelphia who all went to Penn State, and
Except for me.
Yeah, well, except for Gamma and I, and no, they did not.
Right out of Philly.
They did not get.
In Philly over here.
They did not get touched by Jerry Sandusky either. So.
Whoa, you don't know that for sure, Sam. Were you there?
I was just gonna say that was awful presumptuous of you, Sam. How well do you know these guys? Shit.
Well, I mean, Sean, do you want to talk on it? You are in a safe space, so.
Is this really safe? This is YouTube. We could be banned here. Could get the mob after us.
After all the fucked up shit we've said, yeah, this is not going to be what takes us down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, in chat says Penn State. I'm so sorry. Why? Penn State's fantastic. I love it.
It is a pretty shit school.
Yeah, you're right. It's the. I'll say one thing. Okay. There's a lesson to be learned in all of this, like with the Colorado deal, with young Isaiah. If you could afford to send your child to a private school, fucking do it. Okay. If you have kids, because if you send them to a public school and you don't like, and your home situation is like, where isn't great. No, he's got two really good parents, it looks like. But like, say, like, dude, if you can afford to send your kid to a private school, freaking do it, because these public schools are getting worse and worse.
Well, yeah, especially now, like, because everything's going online. Your school, if you go to public school, you probably won't even go in person. Like my cousin, he goes to a private school, and like, because I think that was the only way for him to actually attend school. I mean, he went to there beforehand, but if he went to the public school, he wouldn't be in, he wouldn't be in class every day. It'd be this like bullshit Zoom university or Zoom elementary school or high school. Also, I forget what age group he'd be in, but still, what are you really paying for?
Well, that's basically what they're having us do at the college level right now. Like, I literally have not been to campus. By the way, I got in trouble this week because
what'd you do?
I did not fill out my COVID assessment for the week. So any of them, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming to campus anyway. So I may have gotten penalized for somehow. So
if you're not going to campus, why do they give a shit?
Exactly. That's my point. So,
like, that whole system that your school's doing is like one of the most stupidest like takes from any school district I've ever seen. It's like that feel good thing, like, oh, just take the survey. Like, people are gonna lie. If they're going to parties, they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I was getting fucked up with my buddy, G over here, just doing beer bongs and coughing into each other's mouths. No, they're not gonna say that. And there's no way like, you can really find that stuff out unless like someone's blatantly obvious.
Shut up, Shut up, Alex. I don't need you. Don't narc on. Don't narc on me, man.
You got these frat boys that are like, yeah, I'm taking all the. Hey, bro, I'm taking all the COVID precautions, man. And then he's doing keg stands with an additional beer bong hanging out of his ass. Like, who the fuck are they kidding?
And sharing a fucking bong between a bunch of his frat dude buddies. Hey, let's fucking stick our mouth on this thing and keg stands, bong hits.
God, like orgies and shit.
Shots between 12 dudes with 3 shot glasses.
They're not getting. Dude, a lot of these frats aren't getting laid either. Okay, let's just say, they're like, you'll go to the one. I went to a couple parties, and they were just like the worst fucking parties ever. And
really?
And it was like. It had the feel of like hey man, we tried to get a party to get some chicks, but no chicks showed up, so we just like circle jerked each other, man. It was really wow. Like, no, it was just bad. It was just.
Are you sure you weren't at the initiation ceremony?
It was bad. No, it was because they were like, oh, it's a social. There's gonna be girls there, man, and like. It just felt very gay pornish, so I just had to bolt.
Sounds like a frat.
Porno showed out too, though, man.
Frats are gay. I'm sorry.
The chicks never came. I
have a funny story related to this that happened today when I was out in my adventures of door knocking in Lancaster County. I was in like the last section I was doing, so I'm like tired. And like I only had like 2 to hit here in this like cul-de-sac. So I go up to this one door. And like this lady, like she didn't take care of her lawn that well, and like all the blinds were shut. But I was like, it looks like she might be home because there's like a car there. I knock on her door and I'm like looking at my phone and shit. And I look up and she didn't even open the door. She's like staring out the window at me, like with this like menacing glare, like, what the fuck is this guy? And then like I waved her and she just like, I'm like, hi. And she's just like, kind of give me this like creepy look. Like,
what's this creeper doing on my front lawn?
Yeah, what were you doing?
I'm calling the police.
Well, to clarify, I was door knocking for Trump. As a part of my campaign.
Eddie's a Trump supporter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry, I give you that important context there, Delaney, but I
Yeah.
was
I have
knocking.
to.
Mhm.
I actually have to for my work. I have to like travel around a lot, and like if I need to like approach people, and sometimes people are like, "Do you work for fucking Trump? Like, stay away from me." I work in the city. Like it's mostly Hispanic around here, and people like sometimes think I'm like working for Trump or something.
Oh, really?
It's
What are you
happened to me,
doing?
like,
Wearing a MAGA hat on the job?
no. No, I just approach them. I'm just white, and I'm just approaching them.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
You should tell them that you're with ICE.
Nice baby.
People have been like, "You better not be." It's even worse. More people ask me, "Are you from?"
That'd be funny.
Where they ask you you're from?
Can't tell you which agency I'm from.
No.
Okay,
Yes, where they think
that's
you're from.
strictly classified.
Yeah, that's classified information.
I always tell people I'm with the DEA. So which freaks
Zoe's
them
trying to
out.
start shit
Them
with
out.
you, Phil.
So
What's up?
Sorry, Sam. What were you saying?
I was saying I just tell people I'm with the DEA and that freaks them out. So
Yeah, go into a frat house and say that.
So you're with the ATF.
Yes.
Ass and Titties Foundation.
I mean,
Zoe in the chat is saying, "I bet the quote chicks never do it with you."
Ooh.
Well, what do you have to say to that, Phil?
Ooh. Well,
found inside.
Yeah, I don't. I find that comment to be highly offensive, there, Miss Zoe. I don't understand.
No
I don't understand why no woman will touch me. I'm so hurt. I'm so ashamed.
Have you left your basement today?
I can provide a wonderful life selling knives from door to door.
Oh, you got some Cutco there, I see.
I'm trying. I'm sitting here and I'm trying.
So
I don't understand.
So for my audience, just a little background on Phil. He's a Marine, and
he wasn't a Marine. I thought he was.
I was Army.
Oh,
Jesus, Sam.
Either way, he's a military man, and he's been around the block probably more times than you have, Zoni the Zan.
You're Army? I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. Okay.
Keep
giving me shit, Sam.
Semper Fi.
Did you just call Sam Zamboni Sam?
Oh. What?
Is that what I'm just asking because I swear that's what I just heard.
No, but that's funny as fuck.
I was gonna like vocally laugh about it because I thought it was really funny, and I thought that's what I heard.
Because he's a Roman centurion. That's gotta be Sam's new name on Twitter.
See, Sam, if you would go to like a frac,
Zamboni,
you could go and put like a fucking beer keg on your wheelchair on the back. That'd be some cool shit. You get all the bitches, all two of them.
Believe me, I've been to some. Well, let's just say Florida parties are equally weird. So.
Florida itself, yeah.
Zoe's brutal.
Zoe's, dude, fire's coming out of this chat. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find a nice wife someday and buy a car for her boyfriend so he can visit her more.
That's a nice one. I was just like,
Zoe, you get a sub.
She said I was supposed to support her in her sexual journey. So I agreed. You know, I agreed I would hold her hair back while she was orally pleasuring somebody else.
Don't worry, I'm sure she'll let you subscribe to her OnlyFans account.
Oh,
I'm just what is it? I would love to. I would love to purchase her OnlyFans
Now listen,
agreement.
what I want y'all to understand is Phil's a good dude. His woman's a good lady. She just wants my dick. She wants Phil's dick too. She just wants mine every now and again. And Phil likes to hold her hair. He says it's her idea. It's his idea. But my name's Tyrone, and I'm the bull. Good night.
Now see, folks.
I was so close to nailing the heel tonight. I was just so close.
Now, see, folks. If Phil was a Marine, this wouldn't be happening. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to sell. I'm saving money. I'm selling knives. Okay, I'm saving my money, sort of, and I just can't do it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry to ruin the bit, but I just shot beer out of my nose and mouth. Whatever you just said, Phil, I can't remember uncontrollable laughter, like a literal spit take. I wish there was something recording because I spit it fucking everywhere on my clothes, on my phone, my TV, my PlayStation. Oh, that's good. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, you not have a shotgun a beer or something.
I should probably go get a beer at some point, but I don't want people.
Well, you could lick it up off of my floor and PlayStation and TV.
That sounds like a little kinky party there.
Yeah, why am I not invited?
I'm not.
Boy, listen, I'm talking to all y'all.
Apex, I'm not Owen. Ask Johnny. So.
I don't think there's a way we can do that while maintaining social distancing.
Oh, that's your concern. Oh, Zoe has a new comment. Sounds like you have a lot of experience.
We'll just call it a peaceful protest, guys. That's
Zoe, why can't I find your channel and subscribe to it? I look it up and it doesn't exist. But these comments are straight fire. Like this is this is all-star. Like I might even.
This is awesome. Like this is points.
Discord.
This is
pretty nice
absolutely
to have shit talkers in the chat, right?
This brings me back to the days when we had the fucking radio and we had those people calling us.
Oh my god, I wish we'd have Zoe call in. This is, as Milo would say, like I rate my trolls like marks out of 10. Like she gets a 10 out of 10. Zoe the Zanny.
I'm friends with Zoe. That's how she found the thing.
I was gonna say, it's rather coincidental. The time Dovane shows up, we get a troll in the chat. I actually appreciate it because this is entertaining.
It is.
But yeah, thank you.
I was gonna keep it a surprise, but then you're like, "Oh, who is this person?" I was like, oh.
You had to reveal your power level then.
Yeah.
Oh, as I was trying to say 10 minutes ago about my story, when I was out door knocking for the Trump campaign, I go on this person's door and she's like looking at me like a fucking creep and looking like all like scaredy, like oh, what's this guy doing? Like she was all like give that worried look. She opens the door like a crack and she's like, hello? And I'm like, hi, this is Sean with the Lancaster County Trump campaign, and I was just wondering if we count on you to vote for President Trump. And she goes, I would rather die than vote for that guy. And where's your freaking mask? And like slams the door on me.
Should have coughed on her.
Yeah, it's true. Fuck, man.
Oh man, allergies.
Did I tell you guys my McDonald's story from like a few months? Yeah. Why aren't you wearing it?
That one was bad. This was the worst I'd experienced because like I was so tired. I mean, I always have my mask like hanging around my neck when I do it, and then if like I'm like really close to somebody or they have one, I'll put it on. But like I was still fucking like 10 feet away from her. I was like, was this bitch crazy? Like I'm only 10
Get
feet
off
away.
my porch. Get off my damn porch. I'm trying to drink my prune juice in peace.
Yeah. Dude, she is that type of like crazy like cat leg. It's like she was just so like she's like this like mega Karen. Like she was just like so freaking like at first I felt like a tiny bit bad. I was like, shit, I should have been wearing my mask. I'm supposed to be doing that. But then at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I wasn't wearing it because I pissed her off more than I already did with the Trump hat.
Did they give you like Trump masks or something to say like "Make America Great Again" or something?
No, but I was able to get a free one like through one of his email things. I have another terrible but funny story from campaigning, and this is bad, but like bear with me. Do you guys remember that one volunteer I had that like called me like a shit ton of times and left like crazy voicemails?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna call her. We'll call her Karen. Because why not?
Wow, how original.
Hey, it works. Bear with me. We could call her Zoe if you really want me to. But we'll call her Karen.
Zoe, by the way, Zoe gets a Gamma certified 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
But
great.
continue. Go ahead.
Thank you for your service. Yes, thank you. That joke has double meanings with us Penn State people here.
Oh, I'm sure it does. So
we could tell you that one afterwards.
Everyone in my chat feels really sorry for you. So
why Penn State? Okay, Penn
Well,
State.
it's about a particular individual, not about Penn State.
Yeah.
An exceptional individual.
Sean, it's okay. Jerry's not there anymore. So
I miss him. He was waiting for me. So this crazy lady, Karen, like she was like, I met her because she like called me, like she's like, hey Sean, I'm in the car right now, and I'll come help you guys. Where are you at? And Donald Trump is like doing really good. These Democrats are evil. Like she talked in this like crazy like manic manner where she like rapid fire shit and like almost like she had like split personalities or something. And like I find like I kind of like low key avoided her because she gave me the crazy vibes. But one time, like she came to one of our events and brought pizza. I accidentally invited her to something, but yeah, then she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do phone calls." So I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we'll like set you up on the app and everything. We'll do some phone calls." She's like, "Okay, great, Sean, wonderful. You're a sweetie. This is great." I'm like, "Okay," and I check up on her, like, well, she checks up on me. Let's get it right. And she's like, Zoe says, damn, she does sound like me. Okay, we're calling her Zoe now. So Zoe calls me and she's like, hey, Sean, I'm sorry I can't do calls. I've been real busy and like, all kinds of crazy shit happening. Man, I'm sorry. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. And,
Wait.
Another day goes by, she doesn't do it. What was that?
Wait, is this person you're doing a ghetto impression? So is this person from the ghetto?
Dude, I don't know where the fuck she's from.
Well,
like...
Zoe, her name is Zoe, so we're just going with that. That doesn't where she's from doesn't matter. Her name is Zoe. Could be anything.
I don't think it sounds ghetto, but it does sound like distinct the way you're doing it. Like,
it has like a she had a Jersey accent.
Oh, Jersey. Well, Jersey is kind of a giant ghetto, though. So.
Oh God, he's from New Jersey.
We're all the same from New York.
Yeah, she was something. I think she was. No, she was originally from Philly. She said shit, but she sounded like she was from Jersey. Like it made no sense.
Well, like it's that triangle that area.
I'm
from Philly can sound like kind of the way you are.
Yeah, it can.
You're like actually from like this. I don't know.
Yeah, like if you're straight out of Philly, like yeah, you can have that. But
there are a lot of New Yorkers that do like flood into Lancaster, like because Lancaster has like a real low cost of living, so like you get a lot of New York. You have like these New Yorkers that like come in and like they get their retirement from whatever the fuck they were doing up there, and then like they come down to Lancaster where and then just enjoy their retirement.
Let's go Lancaster.
It's the same thing with Reading, where I live. Like a lot of the people who live around here are literally just Puerto Ricans who are from New York.
I mean,
yeah.
Dude, Reading, man, drugs beat the shit out of that city. Holy fuck.
Speaking of drugs,
I was gonna say speaking of drugs, but okay, you go first.
Go ahead. Sammy.
Speaking of drugs, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm gonna go get a beer though have. I was gonna say I was gonna go get my heroin stash, but
I was gonna snort a line of cocaine off a toilet seat. I'll be right back.
No, No, that's what Apex does. So,
Oh shit.
but
I beg your fucking pardon.
His silence was deafening
No,
for a second there.
I was
No.
talking shit in chat and tweet.
what?
Oh yeah, we have some shit going on in the chat. Zoe
Well-
says, "Oh snap!" Apex gave like a hands up. Zoe, damn, she's like me. Apex, I'm sure you're a 7+ out of 10 human.
I'm trying to get Zoe to talk more shit. She's not though.
Aw.
There's nothing really good out there, unfortunately, right now.
Well, I'll give her
Um,
some material here, because this crazy lady, that was calling me and whatnot. I'm like outdoor knocking like a few days ago, and I'm in my car, and like I was having a pretty like shitty day. I'm not gonna lie, and like I'm sitting there, and it's raining, and I get a call from her. And I was like, "Hey, Zoe, how's it going?" And she's crying. Like, I can hear it in her voice. I'm like, "What's going on?" And she's like, Sean, I'm sorry, I can't do phone calls." I'm like, What's going on?" She's like, Sean, I just, I'm not gonna be able to do phone calls. I can't. I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" And she goes, "Sean, I'm arrested. I've been arrested."
Oh no. What'd you do?
Okay, this is where I have to separate the facts from fiction, because this is a bit stranger than fiction right here. Her side of the story is she tells me that she got a DUI. And she tells me that she got it when she was coming home from a bar or restaurant or something, and she was, quote, trying to do the right thing and help people, unquote, by bringing home a bunch of drunk. And she was looking it up too. I don't know how many she's had before. But I'm on this charge of the recent thing. She had a DUI, Gen Imp slash Inc. of driving safely, first off,
First offense.
and then a County's whack. Like,
Uh-huh.
you DUI, crash into a telephone pole with a bunch of other people, gets arrested, is on trial, under house arrest, has been to AA in the past, and is bad shit crazy.
Dude,
Okay,
that's not that much. Okay, let's be real. Like, there's a lot more crazy stuff. You just have. It's like, if you're on the nature trail, you go and peer under the rock, and you've just been looking at the nature trail, but you never peered under any rocks, never looked under any logs. There's a lot more crazy shit where that came from, especially in Middle Pennsylvania.
Oh, I know. Oh, I bet. I'm just saying, like, of all the ones. Oh, I found a speeding ticket for her. That's nothing. But it's like, of all the like crazy shit. Like, I've heard about some crazy shit that with some stories appeal like that, like some of the stuff we see in Penn State, and like that bitch that like was in a wheelchair that was trying to get into the office and wanted us to lift her.
Wait, I thought this was the same person.
No, this is not the same person, dude. That one's in a wheelchair.
Oh, well,
That one can't drive, and for a different reason though. But she can't drive for a completely different reason.
You hear a lot of weird stories coming out of Lancaster. It's like,
You fucking do.
yeah, you just like I was going to a Rumspringa party, and one of those I got plastered, and one of those Amish people tried to stick their finger in my ass.
That's probably not even far from the truth. Zoe says that pole jumped right in front of her. Of course it did.
Yeah, his name was Tyrone. But anyway, go ahead.
For the record, she is very white. To clear that up, because I know her accent might give the wrong idea, but like, no, she's very white. Shovel Point says, "Don't make me roll out the trebuchet from the garage. I'll modify it so it will reach you in time." What the fuck?
Let's go and bombard you with some trebuchet shit.
Those are fighting words, sir. Zoe, what a lightweight. No wonder what she swooned over you. She can't handle much.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Mr. Shawnee Boy over here, he doesn't drink at all.
Shut up. See, look.
Hey, he's a cheap date, all right?
Yeah.
He's a cheap date.
Yeah, I look, I am cost effective, I'm affordable, and I will always drive you home safely.
That's right.
No, because he'll get a sniff of NyQuil and it's fucking over.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay, there are exceptions to every rule.
Say, Dex, are you the dude that fucking like?
Probably better off taking an Uber.
Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
No, we don't need to retell that story.
Yeah.
I'm still in the docket, I think, for that story.
Well, yeah, you stay on the docket for a while. I mean, I think it's like 5 years or something. I mean,
And once it's gone, we will act like it never happened.
I like the South Park approach, where X amount of years have to pass. Doesn't have to be their 26 or whatever, 26 and a half or 20, whatever they came up with for AIDS. The early episode of South Park where their AIDS is finally funny. It's been however many years. I like that. I like that approach, because some things are just funny even when they're tragic right away. But to just openly make fun of them, time has to pass. You can't bury.
No, that's not me.
I say fuck that. Fuck that.
No, that's totally not me. I'm notoriously bad for putting out fucked up jokes way too soon. Too soon.
Oh no.
We embrace the too soon.
I was just arguing the idea that like generally like you can generally make a joke about something tragic and people go, "Oh, that's funny." I mean, I don't necessarily apply to any standard. I just think that some things for me have been like, I mean, to use the personal and closest example, is Little Brother's death. It's not even been a year, but I make jokes about it, because there's things about it that's funny, even though it's tragic and hurts me. It's funny. There's things about it that are funny. to point that out, that I'm like
like a girl laughs at a funeral. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm bad. I'm bad with the too soon shit. Like for example, on my Twitter feed, Pluffy Phil, by the way, that's one word. Tim Pool talks about the
It should be Dictator Phil.
We're working on it. Anyway, so he was Tim Pool was talking about the Cuties film. It's like, oh, it's a bunch of booty dancing 10-year-old girls. Big Mouth, the cartoon, is already a fucked up show. And I had to reply. I was like, I heard Ghislaine Maxwell was scouting talent for the film. And so, I figure, too soon, right? Was that too soon, or was that like not?
No, that is not
right on point.
That's great.
Yeah.
Me.
Fuck is Ghislaine Maxwell?
That's Jeffrey Epstein's talent scout, basically.
Yeah.
Of course, he has no name Gisley as his fucking talent scout.
I would say Kevin Spacey was looking for talent.
Yeah, it's spelled like Ghislenne or some shit, but Ghislaine, Ghislaine, I've heard it's pronounced like 5 different ways. So,
because
that joke is solid, Phil. That's why you're a much better actual comedian than I am, because I'm just like a fool. I just like say stupid shit.
I mean, I do too. I just I don't know.
Yours is just funnier.
Well, the thing too is like with like this case I'm bringing up, like initially when she called me, like I was like, I was in a shitty mood, but like I was just kind of like, I felt bad for her. I was trying to help her by saying, hey, talk to your doctor, talk to your lawyer, get this shit straightened out. She's like, oh, Sean, you're so calm. How do you remain so calm? It's like, how do you do it?
What happened to you? You don't really give a shit that much.
I'm like, look, people say I'm like really calm, like in a lot of things. I guess I tend to be, but it's like, also she was just all going off the wall. Like she was just a mess, and like I felt bad for her, and I hope she gets help. But like, there's still some. To lighten the mood, there's still some it's still it's such a fucked up situation that's funny, and that's what happens with a lot of these things, is that some of the ways that we get through these things or think about these things is like we put a humorous spin on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if we took things too seriously, like I'd go insane. I mean, only look, we're all gonna die. Don't take things too seriously. It's all right.
Yeah, that person just sounds like she was fucking nuts. Like, did she have an interlock thing in her car already?
A what?
Like one of those interlock devices, so you had to like breathe into the breathalyzer in the car to drive.
Well, she will now in a year. Speaking of that sort of stuff, Zoe the Zanny coming in with more fire says, I think Dilvani is secretly a cop because she takes my breath away.
Yeah, this
But
I can't breathe.
By the way, folks, on the Whitfield Report stream, Budweiser is not a sponsor. I just have to say that.
Yeah, we're not getting paid. We're not chills.
No shills here.
No
grifters here.
But I am drinking Budweiser though. So, gentlemen.
By the way, here I'm gonna on a side note. I want to take this moment, right? I want to take this moment to thank the Houston Texans for practicing safe social distancing during the game against the Chiefs. It's very, very, very nice of them. It's very considerate, and it explains why they got their asses whipped to kick off the NFL season. Anyway,
so talk about that football game. Wasn't that the one where they like interlocked hands and like did this like bullshit?
And they got booed.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. They were like,
yeah, you know what I think? What I think is really funny about that is like the viewership was down 18-19% or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody in the stadium that paid an additional premium to be there to watch this sport that they clearly have problems with going into, pay all this, pay the extra premium to go to the stadium and boo. Like you would think it would be these Antifa types that, or I mean, with those type of mentality, maybe not Antifa straight up, but the more democratic-minded, the leftist-minded people would be that like football. Like, fuck yeah, let's go. We'll go and we'll cheer them on for locking arms.
Who really watches football though? Like, let's be real.
A lot of people.
A lot of
people do.
And
I mean, Super Bowl is the most watched televised event every single year by a long shot.
But it's usually not like the Antifa types that are going to watch. You might get, like you'll get Democrats, but they're not going to be like the super fucking hardcore usually.
I tend to agree.
So what they're doing is
although,
but I mean,
I will say this for the Antifa. Well, not so much Antifa, but more the feminists. The feminists have tried to get rid of NFL cheerleaders for years now, to the point where I have actually started a legit hashtag called Save the Cheerleaders as just a complete troll, but also not really. So
also that pisses me off. Like, they're fine with people having OnlyFans and shit, but if you want to be a cheerleader, that's not okay. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's stupid. Well, because another thing too here, that's stupid too, is tomorrow the Eagles. I think it's their first game. I don't fucking know.
Well,
it's their first game.
It's football Sunday. It's the first game of the season.
And guess who are they playing? The Washington football
team. Yeah.
That's the dumbest, gayest, stupidest, lamest fucking name since the Browns.
Is that real? The Washington?
Yeah, it is real. They took the Redskins off.
They took Redskins off like months ago.
I knew that.
Can't be football team.
I knew.
What?
I knew that, but like seriously, they couldn't even like try and come up with like a creative name.
Well, I think this is the working name, isn't it? Like before they finally pick a fucking name.
I think they're gonna try to. I think what their goal was. They're gonna try to name it via like the public. Like the public is gonna like try to name it.
Come on, boys, get
4chan. Yeah,
4chan boys when we need it.
I just
this is getting pushed. Wherever that poll is, it's getting pushed.
I think what happened was there's some ingenious dude who just kept like trademarking various like names that would be good for a football team and just buying it out from under their nose so they couldn't like do one of those. But let's be real here. It's like not even just the Redskins that are cucked, but like even the Chiefs. I heard that they're not even allowing you to wear like headdresses or anything anymore.
Yep. I was thinking that too when I saw the Chiefs, and when Phil mentioned, I'm like, dude, they're gonna get fucked next. Even though there's nothing wrong with anything, like you can't find anything offensive with the logo, the name, whatever the fuck it is. They're gonna find something.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
already turning.
Well, what about the Minnesota? What about like the Minnesota Vikings? Like, why aren't people getting? I'm playing devil's advocate here, but like, why aren't people getting offended by the Minnesota Vikings? That's
they're white.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly.
But still, that's cultural appropriation of Norse people. So
my culture is not a costume, and the Vikings. Let's end all the ethnicity ones. The only thing we'll have is like the fucking Steelers. Like, I'm surprised they're trying like issue with the Patriots. Because being patriotic's like a white supremacist.
Dude, they're gonna go for the Patriots next. You might be onto some with that. They might go for them next. I love how this article. I love how this article calls the Redskins the team with no name, like it's fucking Voldemort.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named.
A girl has no name.
Yes.
Well,
no, but I mean the whole thing, the whole reason that they did, and the only reason that the Redskins did this was because they're trying to get a stadium. They're trying to get back into Washington D.C. For their new stadium, right? And so DC's like, well, lose the name. You want the stadium, lose your name, right? And so that's why they did it. They were fighting it for a long time, and even like most of the Native Americans didn't even give a shit about the Redskins name. But like money was the primary drive for that movie.
But see, Phil, you brought up a point that I brought up on the Whitfield Report on this show a few years ago. It's like the Indians, the actual Indians, don't give a shit about, you know, if anything, they were actually glad that the you know, that they took the Redskins name, because, you know, it was like honorary or something. But like, and by the way, who the fuck would want a football stadium in Washington D.C.? Like, traffic.
A lot of people,
Where's
because
it gonna
there's
be?
money.
Where are they gonna find the room for that?
Premium seating is a fantastic money maker.
Traffic is horrible in D.C. as is.
They don't
like,
give a shit. They don't give a shit. They're as long as it's making them money, they don't give a flying fuck.
Well, it's a
Oh,
lot
they
of
make a
people.
shit ton of money, dude.
Yeah, they will make a shit ton of money.
Dude, they'll build fucking trains from every fucking like street corner to that stadium if they had to. You know what I mean? Or, you know, trains and fucking goddamn monorail.
I think we talked about this a couple months ago. The Dallas Cowboys stadium, when they built that stadium, that was like the first to really start the fucking train going, like that, because it took Jerry Jones built this stadium out of $1.6 billion, and then everybody said he was crazy, he was out of his fucking mind, and then when they realized that this guy pulled in $450 million in revenue in the first year, then everybody started fucking doing it. Like,
well,
two things. Zoe in the chat says it amazes me that leftists don't love football. Big burly guys tackling each other. And that's pretty much the only spicy comment. So
you know, it's masculinity in its proper form. You know,
well, that's why they hate football.
Yeah.
And
howdy, y'all.
Howdy. Yeah, and then in this one article, it talks about the name change. It says one of the names that's on the table, like seriously being considered, is the Warriors.
Oh, that was my high school's name, something similar to
like.
See, that's a good name, but like for Washington, I don't think of. I mean, first of all, I don't even think of actually Redskins either, like Native Americans. I don't even think of fucking Warriors. Like I think of fucking DC. Like they need to think of something that's actually like appropriate to the area. Like
DC is stupid retarded though. Like
that's a good name.
It's stupid retarded. Well, they did the same shit. They did the same shit to the NBA team, the Washington Bullets. They're called the Wizards now.
Oh, oh my god.
They used to be called the Washington Bullets. They're like, oh, we're gonna change its name just because there's so much violence.
There's high crime.
What's their fan uniform gonna be? Is it gonna be all white, like robes? The Washington Wizards? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
not that kind of wizard.
Really stupid. So.
What about like the Washington scam artist or something? Since that's what politicians are. So
Washington cuckolds.
The swamp monster.
Now listen, I feel like I bring it up every time I talk about political shit, and I've already brought it up since I've been on this show tonight. But South Park, when the Washington Redskins episode, I don't know how familiar you guys are with that.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. That I mean, I wish somebody would I wish something like that would happen. As crazy as our fucking world is, why can't it be that funny?
Well,
like it's already funny when you look for it, but why? I mean, I guess it does. It does kind of happen.
So Sean, you're asking for context. I think if I remember, it's been a long time since I've seen that episode. So
wait, context of what?
The South Park episode. I can't.
Oh, the Washington Redskins. What is it? The trademark for the name goes up in the episode. So Cartman and the boys snatched the name up for their startup company because they want to start up a startup company that doesn't do anything but takes people's money, and they they deal with the NFL and Roger Goodell, and he's like an android and robot. I don't know. I mean, I have such a South Park is such a deep seated cultural reference.
Well,
for
that
me
was
like,
right after that episode was made right after the trademark got nixed.
Yeah,
temporarily nixed. Yeah,
exactly.
So
and it was hilarious.
These boys, it was funny, and it's yeah, like you said, it went to a whole like they're like Washington, like Roger Goodell was like this droid that was being controlled by the 32 owners or whatever. It's funny.
Yeah, and their whole point of the Washington Redskins was we don't fucking care about you, and that eventually their logo became like the Washington Redskins logo, but like zoomed out a little bit with a fucking like an MS Paint single line dick and balls drawn underneath it. Like it's just I mean, I don't. It's as childish as fucking it could be while still being, adult comedy. You know what I mean? Like adult level comedy. Because like
in the chat we have here, Zoe says Washington Muggers. Jason Patty says if they're in DC, they should name the team to reflect the swamp creatures there, the Washington Cockroaches. On Wikipedia here, I love how this is a thing. On the Washington football team's page, it says pressure from major sponsors of the league and team eventually led to retire the branding in 2020 as part of and this part's linked, wave of racial name changes in the wake of George Floyd protests. Wave of racial name changes. Oh, and I do have a racial topic I do want to talk about. Oh, I came off wrong. Not very racial, but
no, that's good, perfect.
Yeah, that's what we talk about here on Real News, or whatever the fuck we call this now. This is gonna be a weird transition, but I can't not talk about this. We all know about the modern day Nazi Holocaust camps and concentration camps in China, right?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys know that the latest Mulan movie, the remake, the live action remake,
Oh yeah,
was fucking filmed there, and they thanked them in the fucking credits, and there is no outrage over this. Nothing. This is like a passing story, but imagine, like, look, this is the same thing. Imagine we're 1940s Germany.
Sean,
let him finish.
Okay.
I was just gonna say quickly. Imagine this was 1940s Germany, and you had Disney filming whatever the fuck they're filming at the time. Let's say they're filming
Snow White.
Like a live action
filming Snow White. Yeah, Snow White. In the on the territory of the Nazi concentration camps where they murdered millions of Jews and other minority groups and whatever.
Brilliant.
They would get so much shit right now. The cancel culture would be in full force of Walt Disney and everyone behind that project and that movie. They would try to get banned from stores. But Mulan, maybe a tiny little bit of chatter of a boycott, but this is the same fucking shit. It's a fucking
go ahead, but then I want
to camp where people
I want to follow you up though, Sam.
For their religion.
Well, just wait a minute too. Like, they did the same thing with like Song of the South. Like, you can't even watch it anymore in America. Like, it's fucking difficult to find the actual movie.
And they thank the CPC, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region committees in the credits.
Well, see, so Sean, you said that there's no outrage, but that's not true, because if you go on to Twitter and whatnot, like everyone on my timeline and even some of the more liberal ones are like, what the fuck, this is pretty fucked up. Also,
it's not a national news story.
It's never gonna be on mainstream media because they're all fucking taking CCP money. So it's not.
Of course not.
Wait, guys, wait, I want to highlight.
Go ahead.
George.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I don't hear a thing he's saying. When he gets back his connection though, but
whatever.
I mean, this.
what I
Like
was
what we're trying to say is like
Sorry, guys.
there is some
I don't know what the
outrage.
fuck's going on. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Discord. It's happened every like fucking 2 minutes with me. You guys just get muted, and apparently I get muted for you too. But what I was trying to point out is, not that long ago, Georgia proposed and perhaps passed, I can't remember, their the abortion bill.
Yeah, yeah. And Bob Iger was threatening to not film in Georgia. He's a CEO of Disney at the time. But hey, we can film in the land of concentration camps that
Yes.
kill Muslims.
Thank you.
well.
Thank you. That's the point that I was trying to make. Like, they threatened.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was abortion. I was like transgender bathrooms, I thought.
No, it was the abortion thing.
No, it was the
Tucker brought
abortion
this
bill.
up.
Yeah,
I remember hearing something about the transgender bathrooms and them doing the same.
That
shit.
was in North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, they were just like Disney was just looking for a reason to fucking film in China without looking like dicks. But
Dude.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. And like they don't care, and it's like, I mean, you look at it like even and going back to sports because they own like Disney owns ESPN, and ESPN basically owns the marketing right or the TV rights to the NBA, and the NBA is filming their playoffs in Disney World basically. Like they're having the NBA is having their bubble in like the Disney wide world of sports or whatever. And like look, they own China owns Disney. They own Disney. They pretty much own the NBA. That's where all of this is stemming. Look, I keep saying this week in and week out. China is fucking running the show.
Yeah.
They're running the Disney show. They're running the NBA show. They're running the mainstream media. Look, they're running it all. And like, this is whenever we talk, we always get taught at a very young age when you're looking at trying to investigate criminal enterprises, follow the money. This is no different. Follow the fucking money.
Well,
And that will lead to China.
Well,
Well,
so
that's
always
the thing
does.
this is all about is like Disney does not give a shit about anything but money. It's very simple, and this is proof positive that that's all about money. And it's funny too that in the credits too about the Xi Providence, they don't call it that in the credits. You know what they call it? Northwest China.
Yeah.
That's fucking rich. And it's even funnier. I had one more tidbit to this, and then you can jump in, Sam. I'm gonna pull something else up. It shows you how how fucked up China is and how fucked up Disney is. If you look up Force Awakens China poster. I don't know if you guys know about this, but it's a different poster. And there's only one very, very tiny difference. It's so tiny that it's actually a big fucking difference. So on the American poster here, as we can see on our screen right here, we have all of our stars here, the three main leads of Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, and you have Harrison Ford here and all this shit. Then you look at the China poster. Okay, it looks about the same. And wait, where'd John Boyega go? Oh, he's down here, and he's a hell of a lot smaller, and looks like they turned up the brightness on his lightsaber.
Hold on, the Discord thing is blocking out some of the.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, they made the fucking black guy smaller on the China poster. They tried to hide the black guy.
Oh yeah, well, so I have a point on that, but my original point, going back to what you guys were saying, it's all about the money with Disney is. So if anyone subscribes to Disney Plus, right, that's like $79 a year, right, annually. Yep. Disney is charging $30 extra on top of that to stream Mulan. It's like,
well, and now I don't actually have a Netflix account. I don't have a Disney Plus account, but my ex does, which I have had access to prior to and even still, because I mean, why not? I haven't watched Netflix in like fucking 3 years since they took all the Marvel shows off, but
And yet you hassled me endlessly about, Sam, when are you gonna watch Mindhunters? So
yeah, that's when I was watching Netflix, Sam. That was like 2 years ago when we met, and I was like, "You need to watch this show, Sam." And it took you 2 fucking years to watch it, and now you're
And
By
mad
the
at
way,
me.
on another
'Cause it's-
side note,
Do they go and hunt like vines or something and blow up?
all right, by another side note, YouTube Premium is a fantastic investment.
yes, it
During-
is.
Especially during the political season. Holy fuck. The YouTube plays a shit ton of political ads. Like if you don't have like the YouTube Premium, it's just chock full of fucking
Yep.
political ads. I'm like, nope, done with this shit. No, so I bought I paid for the premium, and I'm like, and I'm so much happier because of it. Like
Also, it's nice to be able to play videos in the background too, which is what I always end up doing. But no, the other thing I wanted to bring up in regards to something is
Holy shit, I'm sorry. I gotta bring this up real quick. Look at the Black Panther poster in China. Look at this shit. Dude, look at this.
What?
This is unreal. Okay, in the American poster, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, you can see his face. On the China poster, they put his fucking mask photoshopped on him.
Discord thing's still in the way.
It's not blocking it.
I'm watching the YouTube. Oh, now, there we go. There we go.
So
it's so bad.
You know, why is there no outrage about this? China hates black people. You know, the country seems like they really have a problem with it.
So speaking about that, it's interesting that we brought up Star Wars, because have any of you guys heard or read John Boyega's latest interview?
Yes.
Where he basically came out and said that he was largely like marginalized by Kathleen Kennedy herself, because I mean, he basically said that he felt like he was treated, that he was discriminated against because of race. And supposedly, Disney is a very PC forward thinking company, and yet he got marginalized. It's a very interesting article.
It is. I was reading it too, and I think he takes it look, I think it's in the normal context, I would say, okay, your spin is a little social justice-y, but the fact that it's being pointed at Disney and it's pointed at their simping to China, I think it's glorious.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of what they're doing. I mean, it's not, it's not like they're like, actually, no, I'm actually not going to say it, because initially, like, there were some leaks on Reddit that were saying that J.J. Abrams was fighting with Disney because he wanted Boyega in it so badly, and Disney was like, no, we can't. We already have a woman in here. We can't have a black dude, the J.J., because that's not going to sell in China very well. We're already pushing with having a woman. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's another weird bullet point, because if you talk to any like ethnic Asian of any, like, whether we're talking Taiwanese, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, if you refer to them anything other than what they are, being an ignorant Westerner, like, are you from Vietnam? Are you the most racist shit I have ever heard in my life has come from Asian people, little cute adorable Asian people talking shit about their neighbor countries and how despicable fucking swine those Koreans are, or South Koreans, or those North Koreans, or those Chinese, or whatever. Like, it's wild.
I've heard some crazy shit. Not even just about them. Like they'll talk shit. They really hate it. Like, especially like Koreans and Chinese, they tend to all hate Indians a lot, but they really hate black people. Like, I've heard some really racist shit. Like, they believe, like,
dude.
There's like a belief that they reincarnated or something as like a bad spirit, which is why they're black or something. Like, there's really racist shit that I've heard.
That's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's like really fucked. And they just talk about the stuff like it's not, like if a white person said that in like America, they would be like super, super fucking ostracized. But over there, they just say that in passing, like, oh, it's just how things are. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't. These are rich people. These are rich, and even like the entertainment industry, like everybody in the entertainment industry, like they don't care. They don't give a shit about you personally. Like, and that pisses me off too. Like going back to the game, right? Going back to the first game, the Chiefs and the Texans. And they had their whole, oh, we're doing this for unity, we're standing for social justice. And of course the fans were booing. The next day, ESPN, they had the show First Take, and Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman do their little banter or whatever. And they were saying, well, the reason, one of the reasons that they were booing is because there's still a group of people that still want to keep things the way that they were, and there's still white supremacy, and it's like, no, these are people that don't want to have football. They don't want to have social justice in their fucking football. All right. People watch sports. People watch sports or people watch entertainment to get away from whatever the fuck it is they're doing in the world, right? They're working, they're taking care of their families, they're doing extracurriculars, the family shit. Okay. All of that stuff. All right. Most of the time it's stressful, it sucks, whatever. And they're like, okay, but that's like Sunday is usually like the one day where you're like, okay, we'll go to church or we'll watch football, whatever. And this is how they, this is their release, right? Their stress release. And now they gotta go to this game and then see that shit. And it's like, that's what, but these sports personalities are so fucking out of touch with the rest of America that they're just continue to just push it down your fucking throat. No, it's because there's white supremacists and change is going to come. And oh, by the way, when you notice how whenever they talk about this sort of shit, they don't really come at you with facts. It's more like authoritarian language. It's like, oh, well, these people are on the wrong side of history, or like shit like that. Like because they can't, you can't argue with these social justice warriors because they have no argument to argue with. It's like, anytime you argue with them, their logic immediately gets shot down. And so then they're stuck. That the only option they have is to call you a racist, or they call it or they use authoritarian language, or they try to silence you, or it's like it's very aggressive, it's very authoritarian, and this is the game they're playing. And yes, it's going to get a whole fucking lot worse.
Oh yeah.
It's going to get way fucking worse.
There's something I'll mention kind of relevant to that news in 1 second, but Zoe in the chat says, and this is something I've heard too, my ex was Korean and her family was super racist. Their mother once said to them that they would be disowned if they dated a black person. I've heard that too. They literally, if my one Chinese friend told me, like, if he came home with a Han, specifically Han, like they even like hate other Chinese people.
Oh yeah.
Just a Chinese girl, family would love it. Came home with a white girl, wouldn't be the best, but they would still like it a lot. If he came home with a black girl, disowned, boom, done, gone. An Indian girl, disowned, done, gone. It's such a fucked up culture, but
yeah,
this
look
is
at the
what
last
Disney
look at
is
the last
catering
comment that
to.
Zoe made. But when the SJWs do try to argue, they say something that upsets other SJWs and find themselves canceled. Yes,
Yeah.
that is because they're the foundation of what they believe in is bullshit as a whole, and it trips over everything. You can't be for everything that these social justice warriors are for without eventually offending other people. It doesn't work like that, right?
Well, and they also have extremely high purity tests. Like that's the thing that happens with any extremist group is that when you're so extreme and you have all these like hard set beliefs, you have purity tests, and then when people don't fit your tests like perfectly, they cast you aside.
You can't like for example, you can't be pro-socialist and then be like anti-racist, because a lot of these socialist countries were some of the biggest racists this world has ever known. So it's like eventually you're going to find like, look, Che Guevara, he was a fucking real hard fucking racist. Are you kidding me? Mao Zedong was a racist. Fucking all these socialist heroes that we've ever known, they were super fucking racist.
What about Stalin too? Like they really didn't like homosexuals. Like there's a YouTube channel that talks about like in the Soviet Union, if you were gay, even into like the 80s and 90s and stuff, that was like a really big fucking offense.
Che Guevara, he had homosexuals fucking executed. Like this is
personally.
Yeah, it was like you can't, like, eventually all of these personalities are going to clash with each other. Their foundation falls apart almost immediately.
And yet
this is
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and yet the ironic thing is with Che is I've seen gay people wearing that fucking T-shirt that people wear down here because they don't actually know what Che is, and so they think that like he was just some like fashion icon, and it's like, no. That's always fun, is when I have to educate people on who Che actually was. So
why is that shirt even a thing?
I don't
understood
Rage
that.
Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine. I can tell you that.
Is
Rage Against the Machine tricked me. They tricked fucking me because I like music. And I'm, artistic and stuff. And as a young man listening to all kinds of shit, like I literally had I'm serious, I owned a Che Guevara shirt, but it was a Rage Against the Machine shirt with Che Guevara on it.
See,
you know what I mean?
You got a lot of these fucking leftists in there. It's not even just, Rage Against the Machine. It's a lot of them. Like, you get the fucking Beatles. There's some of the worst ones out there. Like making all these, like, fucking super left-wing moves and all this other stuff. They're all fucking, like, for the most part, they're all fucking left-wing.
If I can bare my soul for a second, one of my favorite bands in the world has been for many years Tool, who, if you listen to the members of the band outside of their musical performances, they are as retarded, leftist, ideologically driven as any other content. I mean, they may put it in prettier ways, but this isn't one of the things I have to argue with my idiot leftist friend that I love very dearly. But I can't get through to him, man. We talk about this shit every single week, privately, as friends of almost 20 years now. And I'm not gonna go into it, but
stay away from the fucking leftists. That's the problem, man. You start getting down that
rabbit hole.
Yeah. Look,
well, let me to be clear though, I'm like a born again conservative, because like I was born and raised in an area of the country where kind of conservatism and Republicans were that's just what it was. But I rebelled against that because that's what kids do. So I spent most of my young adult life kind of an idiot liberal, because I'm also artistically driven. Like I paint, I draw, music comes out of me. Like I do things with my hands too, but creativity is what drove me throughout my adolescence. And
the thing is, most people don't change like you do. Most people.
Someone that I fucking know a lot.
I think I know who you're thinking of.
Well, that's the thing. I guess maybe it's from personal experience, but my empathy exceeds probably beyond that it should, or as farther than it should, is what I meant to say, because of my own experience. Maybe I am in the minority, but because of my own experience, I have the tendency to believe that not everybody is lost just because they appear to be on the surface or they sound fucking stupid. Because
No, and
I openly claim,
I don't think everyone's lost, but I do
Well,
think
I think they're
most people, like 45% of one side, 45% of the other, aren't changing their minds. It
No,
just isn't
you're
going to
right.
happen.
You're right.
The people that like these social justice wars, though, like if you really dive into the psychology of these people, they're mostly, from what I've just seen from observations and what from I've heard from other people, is they're really actually broken people that either have mental illnesses
yeah.
or they were bullied in school or had daddy issues.
The
And
entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is in an abusive relationship with a rich husband. That's basically what they are.
Yeah.
Like, because China owns the pretty much most of the entertainment industry. So you either have to either support the CCP or not piss them off. Like, so and if you don't, then this is where you see all these other people that are just basically cast to the fucking wayside. Like, look at Kanye West. The second he fucking supported Donald Trump, it was over, right? The fucking Universal wanted nothing to do with him. You know, Universal Music didn't want anything to do with him, and the social media fucking went crazy against him. Of course, you know, he's smart and has a whole lot of fuck you money, but I'm saying for every one of him though, there's like 1,000 people that want to fucking share their opinion, but they're like, nope, you're not, don't fucking do it. Because and that's there's power in that. There's a lot of power in that, because like everybody that wants, look how many people actually want to become like famous and want to become actors or want to become YouTube personalities or want to become all the like this famous thing, but you have to ride that fucking pro CCP line in order to do it. There's incredible power in that. Unfortunately, like that's what we're fighting against. And like, how do you fight it? Like that's the big question.
here's some fucked up things I just learned about Che, or people that praised him. It says on Wikipedia, various individuals have lauded Che. For example, Nelson Mandela referred to him as.
An interesting character if you actually dig deep into him.
Well, this will add more interest. Nelson Mandela said that Che was, quote, an inspiration for every human being who loves freedom. And
Oh God.
another big one that tells you everything you need to know here: a Black Power leader, Stokely something,
Stokely Carmichael.
Yes, Carmichael. Utilized that Che Guevara is not dead. His ideas are with us. And even, here you go, it's my favorite one, libertarian theorist Murray Rothbard, extolling
Murray
Guevara
Rothbard.
as a, quote, heroic figure who, more than any man of our epoch, I've never heard that word before, or
Epoch.
even of our century, was a living embodiment of the principle of revolution. I don't get it. Like, did they just like not know the shit about this dude? I mean,
I think there's a lot of stuff on Nelson Mandela that's not told in schools because it's.
Oh yeah,
That guy was a fucking terrorist.
What?
Folks, for those watching the Whitfield report, I'm gonna have to end this stream and start another one. So I'll be right back with a new stream. So thanks.